every year in the NFL, a team makes the playoffs that failed to do so the year before. So why not the New York Giants in 2020 do what the San Francisco 49ers did in 2019? Weigh in the comments below. Let's get this video started, and let's get overly optimistic that the Giants can make some noise in 2020. Yes, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Chat Sports TV, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. I am your host, Nick Diaz, at the Lamb on all social media outlets. Let's get going right away with some steamy hot takes. Why I am going to give you 5 reasons that the New York Giants in 2020 are going to do what the San Francisco 49ers did in 2019. Let's whip up these graphics. 4th most cap space in the National Football League, with pending players to be cut, grizzled vets, and a couple of contracts to come off the books. That is a lot of money for the Giants to go out and address so many needs that they have on the defensive side of the football. Reason number 2, the defensive side of the football. Put all that money, that entire draft capital, into the defense. Gettleman, if you're watching this video, because I know you are watching this video, just do that. Leave the offense alone. Maybe we could get a right tackle. Maybe we could get a left tackle. But for the most part, let's go all in on the defense, which was a bottom 3 defense in football. I don't know exactly what the metrics were, but just the eye test, it was abysmal what was going out there. Hell, I don't even know any of the defensive players on the Giants right now outside of Dexter Lawrence, who is PFF's #1 defensive tackle amongst rookies this past season. The Giants have a roadmap to follow. Look at what Green Bay did last year. Aaron Rodgers and the boys on offense, they said, you know what, let's just stay packed. Did it hurt them a little bit not having another #2 wide receiver outside of Devontae Adams? Sure, but they went all in and spent a lot of money on the defense, got 4 new starters on defense in free agency, and they spent a lot of draft capital on the defensive side of the ball. New blood at head coach. Look, I understand Joe Judge is the only non-head coach, defensive coordinator, or offensive coordinator to receive Coach of the Year votes at the NFL Honors Award, which is a tremendous trait to have. This is a dude who was an unknown commodity. No one knew who Joe Judge was amongst the fans until he became the head coach of the New York Giants, until his name was rumored to become a coach in the National Football League. But the new blood, he's going to bring some energy that this team has been lacking for a very long time. And of course, last but not least, probably the most important reason why, and the most significant reason why the New York Giants might take that leap in 2020, Sir Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones needs to follow the path laid before him by some young quarterbacks in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, I understand, he threw 50 touchdowns, but that was year 2 of him being in an NFL system. Year 2 for Carson Wentz before he blew out his knee. Helped lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl, because if they didn't have the #1 seed, Nick Foles was not going to go on the road and do what he did. So, year 2 Carson Wentz, he took the next step. Jared Goff with McVay, year 2 in the NFL, took that next step. So, a roadmap has been laid by past young quarterbacks in their second season, showing people that they are the guy, the franchise holder at the quarterback position. So hopefully that's the case for the New York Giants. As we continue this video, I want you guys to give me, of the reasons that I mentioned, the cap space, the roadmap similar to the Green Bay Packers, going all in on the defense, Daniel Jones in year 2, and the new blood at head coach with Joe Judge. What reason do you think is the most likely scenario for the Giants in 2020 to be a successful franchise? Because it has been very bad for the New York Giants over the last 8 years. Since the Super Bowl, it has not been kind for the New York Giants. The most losses in all of professional football, and that includes a team that has been 0-16 since 2017. No team has lost more games than the New York Giants, and that's an 0-16 that the Cleveland Browns had in 2017. So a lot of work needs to be done. One guy that is excited to get back to work is none other than the 2018 NFL Rookie of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Barkley is looking forward to pairing up with this new coaching staff. He is excited, especially Burton Burns, the new running backs coach, who coached Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara with the Saints and gave him a big co-signed. Kamara and Ingram gave him the co-sign, Coach Burns, and I quote, one Mark Ingram, best coach I ever had. Saquon, you blessed with this one, young bull. Saquon Barkley is going to flourish. And like I said back in September when I was breaking down my official prediction for what the New York Giants were going to do on this outlet, Chat Sports, I said for the Giants to be successful, he needs to have an AP 2012 caliber season. And that is going to continue to be the case unless Daniel Jones really tells us that, yo, I can be a guy like Carson Wentz. I could be a guy like Pat Mahomes that can carry an offense by myself, which I still am hesitant to crown Daniel Jones. So we're going to need Saquon Barkley to be utilized to his fullest potential. And one thing that I'm very excited about, and I know a lot of Cowboy fans are going to laugh at this one, but the idea of Jason Garrett being the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants doesn't upset me. I would have been upset if he was the head coach, but there are some people that I do think are suited to be Robins to someone's Batman. And Jason Garrett as an offensive coordinator, I don't think is the end of the world. Jason Garrett, one thing he loves to do is utilize running backs, and they have flourished with him. Remember DeMarco Murray led the NFL in yards one season, offensive player of the year. We know about Zeke Elliott. We've known guys that have stepped into starter roles with the Cowboys and have been successful. Alfred Morris, Darren McFadden was a thing. Joseph Randle was a thing until he went and robbed some thrift shop or whatever it was that he did. But for the most part, Jason Garrett as an offensive coordinator is not the worst thing that the New York Giants have done. One thing that Jason Garrett had in Dallas that the New York Giants still need to improve, it's the offensive line. Former Jets GM came out and said, the New York Giants are my prime team to make a turnaround, especially if they turn the offensive line around. And I quote, Giants are an old lineman away from turning it around. Solder, Hernandez, Jalapio, Zietler, and Remmers were the majority of the starters in 2019. Could they go offensive line at number 4? I don't know. There's someone else that I really want at number 4, and that's what I would do. So, before I tell you who I want the Giants to take at number 4, weigh in below. What should the Giants do with the number 4th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft? Again, another top 6 pick for the New York Giants. It feels like the Giants have been here. A once historic and model franchise is picking in the top 10 once again, and in particular, inside the top 5. So, let us know what you want the Giants to do with the number 4 pick. Again, if you guys want more Giants videos, I need you guys to let the higher-ups know at Chat Sports that you want more Giant videos. I would love to grow the Giants page to a platform like what Mitchell is doing over with the Raiders. Raiders Report, crushing it. Shout out to my guy Mitchell. So, subscribe, leave comments, let the higher-ups know that we're trying to grow this New York Giants page. With that being said, Simmons, Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. Please, the ultimate pipe dream at number 4. Let's get this guy. 21 years old, versatile king of the Clemson defense. No position has evolved more in football at the defensive position than linebacker. You're no longer just a first and second down linebacker, or you're a third down linebacker specialist in pass coverage. No, dude, you got to be out there all the time. When you're versatile, it is a tremendous help to your defense. You look at a guy like Fred Warner and guys like Quan Alexander, who were featured in the Super Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers. Those are 3 down linebackers, and this dude could be that. The Giants have needed linebacker help since basically Lawrence Taylor. They haven't drafted a linebacker that has been a franchise guy for as long as I've been around. I've been around since 1991. I haven't seen that. They brought in Antonio Pierce, but that was in free agency, and he's probably been the best linebacker the Giants have had. They failed on bringing guys in like Alec Ogletree, like John Beeson from Carolina. It just hasn't worked. So why not groom one yourselves? Gettleman, you love defensive players. Why not? Lateral speed is equivalent to a free safety that is playing linebacker. That is a scouting report that I have on Isaiah Simmons. In 2019, 104 total tackles, 16 and a half of them for loss, 8 sacks, 3 interceptions, 8 pass defense, and what more do you want this guy to do? He was the key member of the Clemson Tigers defense, which played in, once again, a national championship. So we need that at linebacker with the number 4 pick. We also need some vets. Let's get some vets in with this free agency money that we got. one big vet that I think might come over, and it's sort of deja vu again if you've been following the Giants offseason over the last couple of years. Anytime this guy's been rumored to be a free agent or heading into free agency, because of his ties to New Jersey and playing at Rutgers, Devin McCourty, he's been on the Giants' radar for many, many years now. And this time, I think it's more likely than ever for him to come over because of Coach Joe Judge. His ties with him in New England, he came out and said that money does talk. So pending what the Patriots do, they do tend to let those aging vets, north of 30 now is Devin McCourty, a lot of snaps under his belt. He's a guy that's up there in age, and the Patriots, in their history, they tend to just let those guys walk. So maybe he's one of the guys that comes over from New England that has ties to Joe Judge. You saw Vrabel do it in Tennessee. He brought a lot of Patriot guys over, whether it was in the staff or whether it was players, because of them being familiar with one another. The reason why I think he's going to come is because money talks, and the Giants might break the bank to bring him in here. And I won't be entirely excited if they spend a honey badger type of number to bring him in, like what the Chiefs did with Tyrann Mathieu, but at a reasonable price, why not? And especially when he has that veteran presence that maybe he could groom Jabril Peppers in. Shout out to our guy James Yoder, Michigan alum. I know he wants Jabril to ball out a lot better. Hell, I want Jabril Peppers to ball out a lot better and make the defense better. So that's one of the guys, the grizzled vet that I want the Giants to go and target in free agency because they do need help. But the ultimate pipe dream, and I mean, football gods, if you're listening, please let this one happen. Yannick Ngakoue, best defensive end in the entire free agency class. 25-year-old stallion. He's currently 24, but at the start of the 2020 season, he's going to be 25 years old. And you do not find pass rushers like this, folks. Is a guy who's a late-round pick, has blossomed into one of the premier pass rushers in football. And a lot of you might not know him because he's played with Jacksonville. And outside of that one magical 2017 season that they had where they went to the AFC title game, and if a couple calls went their way, they probably would have went to the Super Bowl. He should be the main target for the Giants in free agency. They need edge rushers. The Giants were built on two things: tremendous offensive line play and that NASCAR package. 2007, all those guys. 2011, all those guys that they had. Tuck, Strahan, Umenyiora, Pierre-Paul. They got after the quarterback. They need to go back to what worked for them. And 37.5 sacks in 4 seasons, more than 8 sacks in every single season that he's played. And remember, this is a team who had Calais Campbell. They spent a high draft pick on Josh Allen. They've had pass rushers in the past. 12 sacks in the 2017 magical season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he should be the ideal prime candidate for the New York Giants. And one of the reasons why I think the Jaguars might let him walk is because they got the insurance policy in Josh Allen, who had an absolutely fantastic year, was in the discussion for Defensive Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Joey Bosa, and even Max Crosby out in Oakland. Again, shout out to Mitchell. He absolutely balled out this year. But what happens with a guy like Josh Allen is now you have him under contract for 4 seasons, and you could get a guy like Yannick to just walk out the door, and you could save yourself some money because a premier pass rusher, he's probably going to command north of $17 million. It's one of the positions that you should be paying up at if you're a football team and you want to be successful. So weigh in. Let me know. Who do you guys want? What is the ideal main target in free agency that you want the New York Giants to go out and spend money and bring in big blue style? For me, it is Yannick Ngakoue. I think it is a home run. You can't miss. 25-year-old pass rusher. Can have him in his prime for the next 6-7 years. And it is just a pipe dream for the New York Giants. One guy that is not expected to return for the New York Giants as we start to wrap up this video is the veteran linebacker Alec Ogletree. Heavily rumored, I should say, to be one of the main pieces that will allow the Giants to maybe enter into that top 3 most cap space because he's an $8.25 million cap hit in 2020. That's going to get freed up. He's been a disappointment ever since coming over from the LA Rams. Spent a lot of time in St. Louis with the Rams, then in LA. He was supposed to be that veteran presence that, again, the Giants need to draft Isaiah Simmons for and groom him to be what you want him to be because it hasn't worked out. It's worked out one time in 20 years where you bring a free agent linebacker in and he learns your system and it plays well. A lot of the more successful linebackers that the Giants have been when they drafted him. Spoiler, it's been a long time since they drafted him. So I do think Alec Ogletree, watch out for him to be cut over the next couple of weeks because of that big cap hit and because of his production declining over the last couple of seasons. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed us being back with the New York Giants report. My name is Nick Deus, and I will catch you guys next time over here on Chat Sports TV.